let's make a little selection. All right. So I'm going to probably paint the majority of this in the 2D view. And let's see what we can do with making a little brush for ourselves, and we'll kind of make like some cracks in here. So I'm just going to make a brush from scratch. Let's take this guy, and I'm going to add an effector onto my size. Let's use distance, or I'm sorry, yeah, distance. And this will take me some experimentation to get the right size. I'm going to start with about 60. Make this much smaller. And I've got a black color. And that's looking like a good size for now. And we can see how I've got some taper going on there. And actually looking at the tooth, I think it's maybe a little much. So I'm going to bring my my draw size, and let's get rid of that pen pressure since I'm not using a pen right now. And I'm going to bring that maybe to about 40, 37, something like that. Yeah, that's looking good. And I don't worry if they're a little crooked, because I want them a little randomy looking. There we go. Let's put some more over here. Probably a little much for the small one. Yeah, I think I need to make that a little smaller, maybe like 20. Let's see how that's looking. There we go. Okay, that's good for the major cracks. Now I'm going to make another layer here, and I'd like to make some thinner cracks. So I'm going to find a nice brush here that has sort of a crackly sort of texture. And I'm just going to make a bunch of sort of noise at the base. We'll get our buddy the smudge brush, and the pressure is lower it even a little bit more. I'm going to bring that pressure down even more. Just a little bit. Let's see how it's looking. Yeah, there we go. Just so we get some little smudgies. that's looking just the way I want. Just enough so I get a little bit of noise going on there. And now I'll go and change my color. Kind of do the same thing with white up here at the tip. And maybe make that a little smaller. Then we'll go in and smudge it a little bit. And I'm just doing very short strokes so I don't obliterate the shape of my my little dots there. And there we go, just enough to give some sort of bumps going on there once we set up our displacement. Alright, and the next thing, I think I want to have a couple more wrinkles at the sort of bases of these spikes. So let's select our body here. I'm going to collapse this for now. And since I'm adding onto my body layer, I will select body, and let's deselect this. Alright, so I just want to put a couple wrinkles here, and I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to use that draw distance again. But this time I'm going to put a little bit more shape. Let's not have it under pressure. Let's go into size, say distance, and I'm going to shape this curve a little bit more. Grab that last point. Let's do something like that. So we'll start thin, get thicker, and then go thin again. Something like that. It's a nice curve. And I'm thinking it probably needs to be 15 to 20. Let's try 20 at first and see what we get. And I'm going to set this onto black. And let's make the basic size of the brush a little smaller. And remember, those distance value is just based on I think I can finesse that shape a little bit better. I think maybe a little bit longer. And let's put a little bit more curve in the beginning. Let's try this again. And thinner, I think. Let's fine-tune that a little bit. liking the shape. I just need to have a little bit more distance in it. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more. Let's see how that's looking. Yes, that is looking the way I want. Let's see, is that looking, doing what I want? Yep. Alright, now let's smudge those out a little bit. Get them to do what we want. And I think I maybe blurred that a little bit too. Also change the profile to needle. I want it a little bit smoother. Just doing it right on the edge where the sort of horn comes out. So when the displacement is working, it's going to sort of pucker out. And now maybe I'll do a little bit more detail on there. Let's bring our size distance back. And I'm going to delete some of these. Bring the first one up. And this is probably going to go down to maybe 9. Make our brush pretty small. You might prefer to do some of this using the pen pressure, but I like to use the draw distance. It's a little bit more predictable. Just depends on what you prefer. There we go. Now we see it's doing what we want, coming out right at the edge, and those sort of sprouty things that the horns are coming out sort of make a little bit more sense. Yeah, let's fix that right there. Let's take a little bit of smudge. There we go, that looks nicer. Alright, we only have a couple more areas to go. Alright, let's continue on with our displacement mapping.